Okay. All right, let me see. Let me get set up here on the iPad. My iPad that's super broken. Okay. There we go. Let me... My iPad is so broken. I dropped it too many times, and so it like doesn't do anything. So frustrating. Okay, you know what? I'll do it on this phone. Okay. Let me just pull this up. I have the camera facing me and I can't see the chat. So I want to make sure I can see the chat. And, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. It's weird watching yourself on the phone. Okay, guys. I'm gonna scoot back. Anyways, welcome, guys. Welcome to Cab Family Adventures. Last night was the opening night of FANTASMIC, and a lot happened last night, and so I wanted to come on and kind of just do a quick overview of FANTASMIC, and just talk about what I learned. If you are new here, I am Isabel. My husband is Jared, and we are a family of 4. We have a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. So that's kind of how we run this page. It's very family friendly, and we like to give you guys tips and tricks on basically how to maneuver going to Disneyland, doing all these things with kids. And you know, that's just the stage that we're at. So we want to share with people about that. So that's what I'm here to do. So thank you guys for watching. If you're watching right now or you're watching in the replay, I'll probably do a vlog about this after, but since we're live, I want to just just be a little bit more organic. I was going to share this live because it records the live, and I was going to share it as like a video, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that because it's going to be a little here and there. So, all right. So last night, Friday, May 24th, 2024 was the opening night of FANTASMIC, the return of FANTASMIC. And as expected, we knew it was going to be wild. So we decided to have Jared, I dropped off our youngest at my parents' house. Jared picked him up later on in the evening, and it was just me and the older one. So me and our 9-year-old, because we knew it was going to be hectic. And we didn't know though, like what was going to happen. So that ended up being a pretty stellar idea. And so, let's talk about the night. When we got there, we were super worried about security and everything. And security actually went super smooth. There was a huge line to get into the parks, which is pretty normal if you end up going at about 4 o'clock. And so we got in, and security went by like, I was like getting ready to do a vlog on like how long it takes to get through security and the huge lines. And we get there, there's like 3 people ahead of us. So that kind of fell apart, but it only took us 4 minutes, and security went really smooth, especially with it being like a special night. Usually with special nights like the opening day or opening night of FANTASMIC, or like the first day of Halloween time or Christmas, security can be a little bit tighter because they know, or like when they're doing special events like Star Wars night or Oogie Boogie, since it's not like your normal crowd going. So anyways, security went great, and we got there a bit later than we wanted to get there. But the night before, if you were watching our live, I was speaking to a cast member and she was saying, yeah, you can get here like at 7:30. They're not going to let you sit down until then. And all these people on Instagram, they were telling people, yeah, you get there like an hour before. So my goal was basically just to get there about an hour before, but thankfully we got there earlier than that. But we got there, we went to get something to eat really fast. And when I went to pull up Cordy in California, I went to pull up her live to see where she was. And I knew she was doing a dining package. And she was near like the River Bell Terrace. So that's like right next to where you get onto the Mark Twain boat or the Columbia boat. So right where you get on there. And I saw people just lined up, like packed. And again, the security the night before had told me like where the waiting area was going to start, that this was going to be handicap and the rest was going to be normal viewing. And then she had let me know all the waterfront is going to be dining packages. But man, it was packed all along, anywhere they could go. That was just a free-for-all area. It was already packed. And I'm thinking, what? It was 6:50. It was almost 7. And I'm thinking, this is insane. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to see anything. And I walked along and I asked the cast member and I said, like, well, what time did you guys start letting everybody sit down? And he let me know, oh, well, you are only supposed to start sitting at 7. And I'm like, okay. And it was like 7:03 by that point. And so I asked him and I was like, so this happened in 3 minutes? Like, hold on a second. And he says, no, that people had already started lining up. So I don't know what time they let them line up, but by the time we got there at 7, it was packed already. We walked along the water and I went to talk to another cast member and she let me know that, normally for all the shows, you have 2 hours prior to the show to be able to sit and wait for the show. If that's, if you want to do that. And, but she said, but that yesterday there was no stopping people because there were so many people. So, she said, I asked about the bridge area. So there's the bridge that goes over Pirates of the Caribbean, if you're familiar with Disneyland. And that views our FANTASMIC at Disneyland in California happens on the Rivers of America. I know in Disney World, it happens in Hollywood Studios in a special area that's not the Rivers of America. And so ours happens on our Rivers of America. And that's where the bridge overlooks that area. And she said, we don't know if we're going to open up the bridge because if Pirates needs the line, then we won't open up that bridge area. So as I'm walking, like I had seen that they were pushing people through from the bridge. And so as I'm walking back and I told my son, I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to watch it. We're probably going to just have to see it from behind people. And, he's a little guy and I'm bummed out because I want him to be able to see. And and so they, as we're walking, we notice there's already people lined up on the bridge. And I'm like, oh no, like, wait, we were just there and they did not open it. So I went to the bridge. There was the one end of the bridge was already packed. I went to the other end of the bridge and I asked her, I said, is this the line for Pirates? And she said, no, this is viewing for FANTASMIC. And I was like, okay, great. And that second half of the bridge was completely empty. And I go, you know what? This is it. We're going to sit here. We're going to stand here. And we were able to that was how we were able to get our viewing for last night. I did go live for just like 10 minutes just to show you guys a preview of the area. And there's a big tree and that was kind of there. And like, We didn't get like a super, it wasn't like super unobstructed, but there was a huge opening enough to where you could see very clearly the show. And so that's where we ended up standing. So, that's where we ended up standing, and it ended up being a great view. So first, let me talk about how long they want you to stay. I'm going to keep going into that and other stuff, but if you are planning on going and seeing Fantasmic, I would get there very early. I would get there about 5:00 and just be roaming in the area. And they told me that on normal nights, if you're standing in the area that people are waiting to get in, like into, they'll tell you to leave because it's not yet time to be waiting. But again, they didn't do that last night. So if you are planning on going, I would go and just kind of start roaming the area. If like that's your plan to go see Fantasmic, you're going just to go see Fantasmic, then I would go and wait in that area and just kind of roam around. But you have another option, which I'll explain in a little bit, to get a dining package. I have my notes right here, you guys. I have my notes. But one thing I do want to say is, before I kind of start talking about like the rest of the show, it was packed. It was super, super packed. It wasn't as packed as it got later. It wasn't as crunched, but it was very busy. Now, again, this was the first night of Fantasmic, and but it was pretty insane. And thankfully, it was pretty open when we got there, meaning the walkway was open and we were able to kind of just maneuver ourselves through New Orleans area. But once we found our spot, we started seeing everybody kind of clumping together and going crazy. So that was a little stressful, but I definitely suggest, if you have a stroller, if you have kids, that you wait for that first show. And I'm going to explain why after this, but that you do the first show, not the second show. The first show is at 9:00 and the second show is at 10:30. But I 100%, I encourage you to do the first show. And this is why. We were on the bridge, and right after Fantasmic, they announced, please stay in your area so that you can watch the fireworks show or the projections on Rivers of America. Now, I was under the impression that they were going to they were going to tell us to leave. Like they were going to reset. I was telling somebody, I thought they were going to reset the stage. Like I thought they were going to clear out all the waiting areas and then you were able to go back and, hey, cool drummer. I thought they were going to let you go back, right? And then set back up, kind of like reset the bridge or whatever. So I'm thinking, oh, let's just go and let's see if we can get a better bridge spot. So we leave our area right before fireworks. And the bridge gets completely just jam-packed. One of our subscribers was like, it looks like sardines. And that's exactly what it was, like tight. And we were already about three quarters of the way down the bridge going towards New Orleans, not away from it. And all the traffic is coming on towards us. And they're like, you can't wait here. And I was like, we're going to squeeze through. And this is why I'm telling you, you have a stroller, you have kids. It was a pretty freaky moment, like a trampoline kind of moment. And we were able to sneak in and we got into where it's called, I just learned the name, the Royal Street Veranda, which is where they sell the bread bowls, like the sourdough bread bowls with the clam chowder in New Orleans area. And we were able to, I asked the cast member, I'm like, can we go under here? And he's like, yeah. and it was closed off with rope, so it was kind of quiet in there, but we were witnessing this just huge pack of people. So at the same time, Jared's arriving at Disneyland, and he is with our youngest and the stroller. And he says, we find out later that he walks into, I'm going to say California Adventure. He walks into downtown Disney and he sees it's packed, which downtown Disney can get busy, but it's never quite packed. So he gets to downtown Disney and it's packed and he's thinking, oh man, this is crazy. He gets into Disneyland as the fireworks show starts going, and he has a plan of how he's going to get to us, right? Told him where we are. And and it's like not working out. And I asked him, I said, well, was it packed for fireworks? And he says it was. So I'm thinking everybody in the park is at FANTASMIC, because that's what it looks like. And he's telling me that fireworks were packed too. So that's wild. And I think Disneyland had closed early for grad night. So I'm going to say it was probably not the best idea to do grad night and the opening of FANTASMIC the same night, only because since California Adventure, that means they closed at 9. So that means that it wasn't like filtered throughout 2 parks. So you're having only the high schoolers in California Adventure and the rest of everybody else is at Disneyland. So I think that kind of made it worse. But so he's having trouble getting to where he is. And he says it's like just like it was calm until he says he was near the partner statue, which is the statue with Mickey and Walt. And the finale's going off. And once that hit, that everybody started moving, and then it just got even tighter. And he says, I mean, it was people, there was adults like basically going over our 3-year-old. And he was like, this is crazy. And so he was able to get right next to, I think it's called Stage Door. I forget. It's right next to Golden Horseshoe, and it's like the little side restaurant. And he was able to get in there, and he told the cast member, like, I need to give my son a break. Like, can I just go here? And he's like, yeah, but you can't wait. He's like, I just need him to have a break because it was so many people. So he went in there and I just told him, just stay there. We'll stay where we are. We had planned to go live. And it wasn't like the best view. It ended up being great where I was able to see. But that's kind of how the crowds were last night. I'm assuming that it's going to lighten up, but again, being that he was attempting just to get to the second show is why I'm telling you, like, I think that in my opinion, as a mom with kids, if you're going to try and watch FANTASMIC, then I suggest waiting for that first show. More because of the crowds, trying to get into the second show with a stroller, and it's too much, and it was a little bit dangerous and kind of scary. And I'm thankful that we were able to kind of weasel in. And if you were watching the live last night, you saw how packed it was, or if you were watching anybody else's live stream, it was extremely busy and extremely packed. But that's kind of my take on the crowds. So I'm hoping that does lighten up as the show gets older in the parks. But as far as, let's talk about the positive. I think that was, to me, like, as far as last night, the crowds were really the only negative. There's like little things, but nothing. It wasn't awful. It was great. And, I prayed with our son before. We prayed for the cast members, and we prayed for our safety, their safety. And because, people are kind of crazy, and we didn't know if they'd be aggressive with them. And I'll say this again later, but the cast members, I was seriously blown away at how amazing they did. It was amazing. Like, every cast member, maybe there was like 1 or 2 that were like, okay, chill out. But like from security to the very end of the night, I was just like, these guys are done. Like they're drained. I'm drained just from being there, and to have to work it. And like I was asking these cast members questions that I'm sure they had heard multiple times, and they were so kind and so sweet, and I was really thankful for them. So if you are watching this now or later and you're a cast member that worked last night, thank you so much, because you were amazing. You guys did such a great job. I was like so excited for all the cast members that were performing in Fantasmic. I have like this dream to be him, to be Fantasmic Mickey in Fantasmic. That's my dream. I really want to be that guy. Well, he's not a guy. But I'm too tall to be Mickey. I'm 5'2", and I was hoping that you could be taller. I'm thinking, well, you have to be taller because you're in the show, right? You have to be able to be seen. Anyways, so I was just proud of them and thankful. It was a lot of work. And as far as that, let me tell you a couple other things. So the bridge area, I was thinking we were near the treehouse, and I was thinking they were going to turn off the music of the treehouse. They did close the treehouse so that you couldn't walk up and people couldn't like wait and watch the show. And I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna pipe the music at least all the way back that way, but they did not. We could still hear it because it's still a loud show, but we were all the way in the back of the bridge. I wanted to have graphics, but I can't, I'm not that cool yet with I'm not on the computer. Like, I know you can do graphics and stuff, but if you're familiar with the bridge area at Disneyland, it starts in New Orleans and then goes down by the treehouse. And we were at that very end near the treehouse area. And we were hoping that they would pipe in the music back there. Basically, it's right next to Indiana Jones. And I'm like, well, yeah, they're going to pipe it through. And they did not. So we were hearing the music that was basically from Pirates on. And so it wasn't as loud, which is actually kind of nice because I'm sure it was super loud in the front. But that's one thing. We could still see it. And you could still enjoy the show. But it was a little bit harder to hear the show from back there. But not to the point where I wouldn't suggest you stand on the bridge right there. But that's just one thing. And I would suggest, if you are wanting to see the fireworks immediately following Fantasmic, that you do just stay in your spot and you don't try to find a better spot, assuming that people are leaving. Obviously, every night isn't going to be fireworks, so only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so if you're coming during the week time and there's Fantasmic, and you don't really care about the projections, then I would just head out towards the least crowded area. After the second show, I spoke to a cast member on how to get out, and because of where we were able to go towards the Blue Bayou and around by Tiana's Palace, not Tiana's Palace, is that what it's called? The restaurant. And then we squeezed into Galaxy's Edge, where there was literally like 10 people. And it was actually such a relief to be there and just to not be around anybody because it was so quiet. So that was nice. I just needed to get out. It was really draining to be around all these crowds. But yeah, so as far as the sound, being back there, it was a little quiet. But it was still a good view. So I think it's a good option. I think it makes sense though, because they're trying to keep the show this way and keep everybody past it still experiencing what they're experiencing. Like if you're on Jungle Cruise and all you hear is fantastic music, it kind of kills that magic as far as Jungle Cruise. Or if you're in line for, Indiana Jones and all you hear is fantastic music. So I think that makes sense that it was like that. So another suggestion I have is I am not one to promote dining packages because it's expensive. It's an added cost. We don't have, tons of money, and any kind of additional when we go is like, I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, I'll just bring my own food. However, with the crowds I saw last night and how popular it is, again, I don't know. I'm sure it's going to die down in the next few weeks. But if you're planning on going in the next few weeks to Disneyland and you really want to see Fantasmic, you want a guaranteed spot, then I suggest searching for a dining package. The dining packages are such that you pay X amount of dollars depending on which one you get. And you get a meal, and then you get a little, kind of like a little fast pass ticket, and you get a certain seating. So all the waterfront, most of the waterfront is all going to be dining packages. It looked like they were sitting and standing. And so I know that before I spoke to somebody that was next to us, they said that they had done the Blue Bayou package, and that they got to sit on cushions and they had to sit down. And so what I saw was people sitting in the front and then people standing in the back. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But it was definitely better viewing than what we had, not having dining packages. So there's 4 options. The cheapest is going to be the Zocalo, which is the Mexican food restaurant, and the more expensive is going to be the Blue Bayou. So the way that you do that is you're going to go on the app and you're going to hit the plus sign. Let me show you guys. You got on the app, and then you go to, there's a plus sign right here. Sorry, this phone is really busted. Of course it didn't. Well, there's a plus sign at the middle. You're going to hit that, and you're going to go to check dining availability, and then you'll sign on to the site, and then this phone's dying. Let me see here. This is taking forever to load. Once you get there, it'll have you pick, here we go. Let me see. Let me put my password. Okay, so it'll have you put in your party. So let's just say 2. And you want to pick your date. So I don't know. Let's just say I want to do it on Wednesday, the 29th. And I just put all day. And here it's going to tell you all the dining packages, all the dining for that day. And this doesn't show any Fantasmic dining. And so let me show you. Let me see if I can pick another date. And then it'll, or let's just do one. If it's only one person, let's do the middle of June. Here we go. So it says Fantasmic dining packages. You're going to click on view availability. It's going to show all the dining for that day, and it shows all of them. So this one only has Rancho del Zocalo, and it has the first show and the second show, and you click on that and you put all the information in that they need. So it's super easy. I know, again, somebody shared, you don't look up dining the same way, but you do. You just click the plus sign, and the top says check dining availability, put how many in your party, then the day you're going, and then just click all day, and it'll post everything that's available that day, and the dining packages are highlighted, and it's all of them. It'll show all of them that are available for that day. And it kind of lets you decide, if you want to do it that way, if you're willing to wait, if you really want to watch Fantasmic, or if you want to choose a different dining package for World of Color, or for the parades, or for the fireworks. But I definitely think that with Fantasmic, with how busy it is and how congested it gets in New Orleans, that if you're going just for a vacation for the week, and you know that one of those nights you want to you want to watch Fantasmic, then I for sure hold on. I have questions. Sorry. Okay, let me just read this first. Okay, Cool Drummer. Yeah, it was super packed. It says it looked so packed last night. Totally. It was like, I don't know if you guys saw Gladys's comment. It was like sardines. Hi, Kiki and Luca, if you're still there. Oh, there's only 3 people. Okay. Ace, Caleb, Ace Snoopy. I was gonna say Ace Snoop, and then I'm like, wait, like Snoop Dogg. Ace Snoopy. Okay, so it's not prepaid. When you do any dining like through the app, you have to put in your credit card. And depending on which dining you're doing, so whether you're doing like at Storytellers, like for example, this is just an example. On Mother's Day, Jared was gonna book a reservation for Storytellers Cafe for their Mother's Day brunch. But it was a little too expensive, and you couldn't cancel. You had to cancel like 3 days in advance. And it was like the day of. And so we didn't do it. For the Fantasmic dining packages, you have 2 hours. 2 hours before your reservation to cancel. So I had found a reservation for 1. And I thought, okay, if maybe I can find 2. And just for me and our oldest. And then at least we know he has, because, you know, our youngest just doesn't, he cares, but he doesn't care, right? And Jared's so relaxed that he's like, He's like, sure, you just do whatever, you know? And so I was looking up to like the second to see if there was any dining packages, because it was so crazy. And I knew it was like, as the time got to the point, I'm thinking, I should probably get a dining, but it was already sold out. But I had gotten 1 reservation and it was at 8:15, meaning, so you get the reservation and it tells you the time you have to go and eat. And then it's the specific show that you're going to watch. That's your time. And that reflects, I'm sorry. You have, the reservation was at 8:15, but I knew we'd already be waiting for the 9 o'clock show. But I don't know, I was like secretly hoping it was going to be busy or something. But that was for the second show. And basically I would have gone and they would have given me the ticket and check in. If I did not show up, if I did not cancel and I did not show up, they would charge you $10. And again, for every dining reservation you make, whether it's a dining package or just at like a restaurant at Disneyland, make sure you check what the fee is and how long you have to cancel. How long before you have to cancel. So with the dining packages for Fantasmic, it's 2 hours. Oh, you know what, Kiki and Luca? So Kiki and Luca is saying that she read on a Disneyland Facebook group that some people were able to enter the paid area for free when the show started. So I completely believe that. Like, what they do is they seat everybody. It's kind of like in World of Color. Like, you have to do the... They won't do this. Okay, I will say they won't do that for parade or firework dining, because they literally have chairs for you and they won't open that up to anybody. But I think that when it's a standing area, so like World of Color has their dessert area that you can go sit, and they don't open that up for anybody. But I think because they were eating at the restaurants and then they were... They had to meet at a certain area and then they could sit down, because it was just like a standing or sitting area. They let him in, and I figured that was gonna happen, because they do that with the World of Color. You get your like fast pass. Is it a fast pass? What is it? What do they call it now? I'm gonna still call it a fast pass. A fast pass for World of Color or whatever, and then. Or you have to wait, but then by the end of the show, they're opening it up to everybody, which is how we do. No, but okay. Sorry, Jared's texting me. I lost my train of thought. That's how Jared gets into the splash zone area, because that's usually they have it blocked off and everybody's waiting. But once like it's 10 o'clock for that last show, they let everybody on. So I wouldn't doubt that they did that. that they let people go. But Jared, he was in a seating area that had tables and chairs. And right next to the Riverbell Terrace area. Let me, virtual queue. Thank you so much. He was in, let me show you on the Disneyland map. He was like right here. Okay. And this is like the seating area. Let me go to dining. And so he was like right here. He was here and they kicked him out because there was no chairs. He couldn't sit in the chair. I ended up over here at the veranda area and there were chairs. So I don't know if they would have kicked me out if I didn't sit down. But this is where all the viewing right here was for the dining packages. So I wouldn't doubt that at some point they just opened it up to people. But I mean, like, you know, I wasn't going to chance that. So anyways, yeah, that's what I witnessed last night, being that I know a lot of streamers had dining packages, and then a couple streamers, they had friends that had already been waiting. And so we didn't have anybody waiting, nor did we have dining packages. But it was, you know, it was hectic, and I'm sure they're going to learn from it all. I hope they do, because it was scary hectic for if you weren't already in your spot. I am curious to know that those that had dining reservations for the 10:30 show, like how they got in and how they cleared, like the 9 p.m. dining, how they cleared that area safely and calmly, especially after fireworks, and then got everybody else in. Because you guys, it was packed. So I don't know where they had them waiting to get to the dining. So I don't know. That's why I'm just telling you guys, the first show, you got to do the first show. Dining and waiting. Because it's going to be the calmest at the beginning, though it's going to be hectic leaving. At least you'll be going with the crowd leaving and not trying to get in, right? Like from the crowd. So that's my suggestion in that sense. Let me see. I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if there was something else. If there was something else I wanted to mention. I mean, all in all, it was a great night. You know, being that we didn't have any, we didn't get any dining packages that got us a guaranteed seat, and we didn't have anybody there saving us a seat. We were able to see the show really well at the end of that bridge. And then for the second show, if you watched our live stream, you saw that it was a pretty clear view, and my son was happy with it because we were at the bottom of the bridge. We kind of missed the top portion of the show, like where Mickey's at the top of the little hill part dancing at the very end. And like we didn't see the top of the pirate ship, or I mean, we could see it but it wasn't like super clear. So for the second show where we were sitting, it was fun. It was very calm because it was roped off, and it was the seating kind that Jared, kind of like what Jared got kicked out from. And thankfully somebody let him and our son in, like into a spot that you could stand in. And, but that where we saw it, it was like perfect. And I was able to stand on one of the steps legally. I was able to do it legally. And I even checked with one of the cast members, like a manager, you know, the ones that are in normal clothes. I was like, is it okay that I stand here? I don't know if you can hear me on the live. I don't know if you could hear me. And she's like, you're totally fine. You're just on the step. It's fine. And my son was safe in this. So we felt very safe last night. And like, But I know it, if I would have had the little one with me, it would have been insane. It would have been chaotic. And so it was chaotic just for my for my husband until he finally stopped and could chill out. And then once the last show ended, since I had talked to the cast member, we were able to get out and go into Galaxy's Edge super fast. I said, are they going to let him just go straight? He needs to get to Galaxy's. Are they going to let him just go straight? And he said, yeah. So he said, once he was able to come out, because I'm like, what's the traffic flow, right? Like, and these were the guys in like FANTASMIC jackets. And so I knew they knew, like they had gone over it. And he was able just to go past Thunder Mountain and get to Galaxy's Edge. And we met up and it was calm and it was peaceful. And yeah, so if you are still on and if you have a question, please let me know. I think I went over all my notes. Lastly, again, those cast members, dude, you guys, the stellar job, these cast members. I couldn't believe how calm they were with so many people. And, you know, it was great. From security, we walked in, when we got into the park, they were super excited, and our son was dressed like what's it called? Like Sorcerer Mickey. He was dressed like Sorcerer Mickey. And they were like, have fun. And we got in, and then the cast members that I asked questions to right before, they were all great. And then I saw one of the cast members I spoke to, that she was telling me about the bridge. She passed us on the bridge. She's like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you guys got a spot. Because as soon as you walked away, I noticed that they had started letting people on the bridge. And I'm so sorry, but I'm so glad you got a spot. And then she told us another spot. She goes, if you've seen the show, you got to go here because you can see the characters getting on the boats. And so I'm not going to tell you where that's at, because I'm going to do it on a live one of these days. Maybe next week. When I'm live at Disneyland, I'll go to that spot and see what she was talking about. Because I think it would be fun to see the cast members. But yeah, I think the show itself was amazing. It was amazing. It was so much fun. The crowd was so excited. I think the acoustics at Disneyland, though, because like we couldn't hear. They were cheering in the front, and it was hard for us to hear on that bridge and even where we were. But maybe because I was cheering at the same time. But I mean, to see Mickey walk out to the FANTASMIC music, it was great. It was so fun. It was so much fun. At the very top, if you guys watched live last night I did post that section. I did post our FANTASMIC section. It's kind of shaky, but you hear me go, this is my favorite part, guys. It was so fun. I was really happy to see Peter Pan. And I was excited. I was excited to see Peter Pan. It was so fun, and it was cool because we were watching it today, and I had turned the camera because I knew they were going to do it. And because what they did is they shoot off the cannon, and like you're watching here, and the pirate ship is over here. So they shoot the cannon off, so you automatically look, and so you look, and then they light up the Columbia, which they made. And my son noticed that they put pirate flags, so it's Hook's ship. And it was great. It was so much fun. And so, but what I did notice is I had turned the camera to where the Columbia was going to be coming from. And you can see the guy that's playing Peter Pan, and he's standing like this, and he's just standing tall like this. And I didn't notice it last night because I was like this, you guys, holding up that gimbal like this. And then I'm switching. So that's why it's like this, if you watched it. But you see Peter Pan, and he's standing like this. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's moments like that, what I've learned to do this year at Disneyland is I always say, I'm like, just look up. And whether you are looking up, but kind of just opening your eyes to like things like that, because I've been going since I was little, and I've seen Disneyland since I was little. And, to be able to just start noticing all these little things, which is why I'm enjoying the Pizza Planet trucks, because it's having me look in different places that I would never normally look. So I think noticing stuff like that, noticing, I don't know, I was so happy. I was like on cloud 9, and then I was just thankful that anybody was watching. Cause I'm telling you, every single YouTube live streamer was there, except for Theme Park Steve. I don't know where he was. Anyways, Kiki and Luca. Yeah, I know Jared's commenting on the, we try to live stream at least like 2 times a week at Disneyland. June we'll be taking a break from Disneyland, and we're going to be doing other stuff. We're going to go to, we're planning on going to Universal, and my husband Jared has passes to Knott's Berry Farm. So he'll be going to Knott's, and then we want to go to Legoland and just kind of do some different things around Southern California. And then we'll be back in July streaming at Disneyland, where everybody else is blocked. I'm not, so it'll just be me. I'm going. But yeah, I don't know if Jared, text me if there's something else I need to say or address. I'm looking through here. Yeah, Cool Drummer says crowd control is challenging. Yeah. And, especially at Disneyland, I was telling one of the guys, I'm like, you know what? You guys don't get paid enough to deal with these crazies. Like if somebody's going opposite, just let them go opposite. Most 98% of the people are going the right way. So just, let them do whatever. But yeah, Jared says we might take a road trip in the summer. We have a lot of places we want to go. And I'm like, oh, we should live stream from here. All this stuff. Like we're going to go to Benihana's. Should we live stream tonight from Benihana's for my dad's birthday? Yeah, anyways, that's, unless you guys have any questions, I think I covered it all. I think that one thing though is I'm thinking as a mom and as just an organized, in my mind, I'm organized, not anymore as much, but that, the times of the shows are, here, let me tell you, like, so today at Disneyland, today's show times, we have Fantasmic at 9, Together Forever at 9:30, World of Color at 9, then you have World of Color at 10:15, and Fantasmic at 10:30. So, it's a matter of like picking which show means the most to you. If you want, I would say that Fantasmic is a great balance. I don't know. But Fantasmic is the only one that has Mickey and characters. So I don't know. That would be hard if you're visiting. But you definitely want, as with the nighttime shows, you want to plan out which ones are the most important to you and figure out how you're going to watch it that way, because they're kind of tight. And again, with New Orleans area, which is where Fantasmic is, it does get super tight. So even on a busy day, it gets really tight over there. And so if you're going to watch Fantasmic, that should probably be the only show that you're going to do. Like I wouldn't try to do like World of Color and Fantasmic, or if you can do the fireworks with Fantasmic, you have to watch the first show and don't expect to see the fireworks in front of the castle. So that's my thought. I see. So let me know if you have any more questions. Yes, World of Color. Jared texted me World of Color. He loves World of Color. He was so bummed that he missed World of Color last night. And I'm like, I think it was grad night last night, so there was no World of Color. But if there's nothing else, let me know. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please go and subscribe. We do go live at Disneyland. And make sure you hit the bell notification so when we go live, because here's what's happening. And I'm just going to tell you, the copyright that is happening on YouTube is crazy. And I mean, we're getting emails basically after every single stream in regards to copyright. And so some are being blocked. Some we're having to mute out segments. So like we got copyrighted for Fantasmic, which makes sense, you know. And I'm not going to mute them because, hello, it's Fantasmic. That's the whole show. We're going to mute out the amazing Fantasmic music. But I would say the best thing to do is catch us while we're actually live, so you can see it all in case we do have to mute something for the replay. Certain songs, like they are just like, no, and they will not even replay the live. So this week, let's see. Okay. This week for our lives, just because I have a schedule in my head that I haven't gone over with Jared yet. Okay. We have reservations for Sunday and Monday. I have reservations for Sunday because they're blocked. Then we all be there on Monday. I have a reservation for Friday that he doesn't know about, but I need to see if my parents can watch our boys, and I might go live. And then usually we go on Thursdays. That's usually when we go. We are there. We have family time. We go live. But since this week is going to be our last Disneyland week until July, I'm trying to go live like a bunch there, and because I want to, but I don't know. We'll see. But so I don't know what's the schedule. Text me the schedule. Is it going to be Sunday, Monday? I don't know. I think for sure we're going to go live on Monday. That's all I know. Maybe Thursday. I have to get reservations. Oh, yes. Okay. And let's see. Okay. The Orange County Fair. We will be live streaming from the Orange County Fair. We had planned to do the LA County Fair, and it just, it really tripped us up that they changed when the LA County Fair is. It messed up our whole schedule. It's like it's the end of the year and all this, end of the school year. And so Orange County Fair, let me see when the Orange County Fair is. I don't want to just keep rambling. But let me just check it really fast, and then we'll close it out. Okay, so it's set for July 19th through August 18th. So we'll be going live at the Orange County Fair, but not in July. So as far as June, that's not something we'll be doing. But we're for sure planning I have a date in mind for Universal, and it's just going to be me and Jared. And I said, we're just going to do it. We're just going to just go. We don't even know what to expect. It's going to be full reactions because, I love Harry Potter. I've been to that Harry Potter area. I've been there. But we were with our oldest when he was really little. And so it was kind of a weird time. So, we like a lot of Universal stuff, like Mario Brothers and stuff. So we haven't seen that yet. We haven't been in Universal since, how old was, maybe it's been 7 years. And a lot has changed in that time. So we're excited to go, and we're just going to just do it. We're just going to live stream. We don't know what to expect while we're there, and we're just going to do it. But anyways, okay. I think that's it. Okay. God, he keeps texting me. We can't live stream at the Angels game. Jared. We are going to the Angels games. Hi, Dave. Dude, Dave Averino, where have you been? I'm telling you, you have not been around. Well, I don't know. Have you? And you just haven't been chatting? A Universal is fun. It's definitely more of an adult theme park. You know, in my opinion, I don't know. I know people take their kids. I just think it's more adult than little kids. Or it's like teenager status. But yeah, we are going to Angels games, but we can't live stream there. They won't let you. But maybe. Okay. Jared keeps texting. He says the U.S. Surf Open competition, which that would be fun. We've gone, and I actually, I still know them, but I don't talk to them, is the owner of Vans. And they, you know, we can go there. Okay. Jared, that's enough. No more. He's just randomly texting me things. But the U.S. Open surf competition, that would be a lot of fun. We can live stream from there. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions in regards to Fantasmic, I hope this helped you guys. We came off of last night. We were really happy about it. I know I wasn't trying to sound super negative. I want you to be aware of the crowds, because I know a lot of people don't like crowds. Two, I know that, you know, if you have kids, crowds are scary, and, Disneyland's already busy. And so to add a really popular show, it becomes like 4 times busier than what it normally would be in the area. And so I wanted to let you guys know that. But the show was great. Cast members did great. As far as everybody around it, at the end of the night, we went to Candy Palace to get, I don't know, they have these little Pop-Tart things. And they were great. Like, you knew they were drained. Like, you knew they had dealt with thousands of people. And not like a normal day, though. Not like a normal day that they had dealt with people. Like, you knew that they had dealt with way more people. They were saying it was crazy at the end of the night. And they were still just so kind and so great. And so I was really, I was really pleased with that. Yeah, I missed the dragon. I was bummed out about the dragon. I was hoping that they were going to surprise us with the dragon. They did not. So that was a bummer, but, anyways, okay. So anybody else have any questions about last night? If you do, let me know. If not, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. This is something new that we did. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time. I want to do something similar to our Texas trip, because we did quite a few things. And so I kind of want to go over that. But I also wanted to do something more like this for if you become a member, for a subscription. So if you're interested in a subscription, I think no, he didn't. Here is the link. I put the link in the description. If you wanted to become a member, we are going to be doing, member only lives like this with updates and all that stuff. And kind of stuff like this. I was thinking maybe I'll open it up to our members, but we only have 3 memberships right now. So that would only be 3 of you guys. And I really wanted to share with all of you guys about last night. And hopefully if you rewatch this, it helped you out in planning out, you know, for your family, especially if you have little kiddos. There we go. So the link for a subscription, if you want to do that and support us that way, you can click on that link, and then there's a different options to choose from with different perks and all that stuff. But thank you guys for watching, and we would appreciate so much if you would subscribe and like this video. And yeah, I mean, we'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I know that a lot of streamers are like, we'll be back. And they put the, like the little, like the thing that like live at 8 p.m. And it's like, we can't stick to that kind of schedule because our kids are crazy. So, all right, everybody. Thank you guys again. We appreciate you all. God bless you. And we will see you on our next adventure. Okay, bye. I gotta go around and turn it off. So, thanks, guys. Also, sorry, Cool Drummer, thank you so much for being here and moderating. We appreciate you. Ace, I don't think you're there anymore, but thank you for being here moderating. And thank you to our other moderators. They're not here, but we appreciate you guys. Okay, that's it for now. For real this time. Bye, guys.